What's up YouTube, Rowdy Lemon here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to add muzzle flash effects to your 2D twin stick shooter. Let's go. So the first thing that we're going to want to do to juice this thing up is add some muzzle flash. An easy way to do that is flashing a black circle followed by a white circle really quickly. So I already have a couple of sprites here for a black and a white circle, so I'm just going to create an empty game object in here. I'm going to call it muzzle flash. I'm going to add those two images as children to it. So just drop those in there. I'm going to, not that, I'm going to move the game object closer to the end of the barrel, and I'm going to make sure everything's all zeroed inside of it. That just makes it easier when it comes to editing this. Cool. Probably want it somewhere like that. That sounds good. We're also going to want the flash probably to appear on top of the bullets and the barrel itself. So to do that, we're just going to set the order and layer a little bit higher. And we want the white one to appear on top of the black one. Cool. Now to start, we don't want these to show up all the time. We only want them to show up when we actually fire. So I'm going to disable their sprite renderer, and we're going to actually create an animator for this thing. So let's see. I think if I just select it and then I go to animation here, I can create an animator. So we're going to call this muzzle flash, and we're going to save that into our, I thought I do, there it is, our animations folder. Excellent. So to start, I think what we'll want to do is hit record here, and then I'll select our black sprite and I'll enable that one. Then just one tick over, I'm going to take our white sprite and I'm going to enable that one. And then one more tick over from that, I'm going to disable our black sprite, and one tick over from that, I'm going to disable our white sprite. So let's see what that looks like. Nice flashy little animation there. Perfect. So in addition to this, we're also going to want to have just a empty state. So we'll create a new animation for this and we'll call it empty, as in we're not displaying a muzzle flash, and that's all we need to do. Now in the animator tab for our muzzle flash, we want the empty to be our default state. We don't want it to be flashing constantly right from the get-go. So we'll set that as our default state, and then we'll make transitions from that to muzzle flash and back from muzzle flash to empty. On the transition from empty to muzzle flash, we're going to want to actually have a condition, I think. So over here we'll create a trigger and we'll call it flash. Now from empty to muzzle flash, we can say it does not have an exit time, it does not have a fixed duration, and there is no transition duration. We want it to just go immediately to the muzzle flash as soon as the trigger happens. And so we'll have to set a condition here as well, so I'll add that. So now when the flash happens, it'll transition from our empty state to our muzzle flash, and then from our muzzle flash we want to go back to our empty state. This will have an exit time, or will not have an exit time, will not have a transition duration. Or no, it will have an exit time, yeah. It'll have an exit time of 1 because we want to play the entire animation. It has no transition duration and it has no fixed duration. So it should just cycle really quickly, and we can test that actually. If we hit play real quick, we can force the trigger to happen and then we can see it flash. So excellent. That looks like it'll be a great muzzle flash. Now let's just child that muzzle flash to our weapon itself. I'm just going to turn it on real quick just so I can see where it's at. Yeah, I like the position of that. Now all we need to do that's left is actually add a reference to our animator for the muzzle flash in our weapon script. So I'm going to jump over there and do that. So in our weapon script, I'm just going to add a new variable in here. I'm going to call it a public animator, and we're going to call it muzzle flash. Now down here in our update where we're attacking, after we instantiate the bullet, I'm going to call muzzle flash dot set trigger and I'm going to pass in our trigger name, which we called it Flash. And that should be it. I'm going to go back to Unity and see if we can shoot some flashy bullets now. Before I can actually shoot, I do need to actually set the muzzle flash animator variable on the weapon script. So I'm just going to drag and drop that. Should grab the animator. Yep, it does. One other thing too, I kind of want to shoot a little bit faster, so I'm going to pump that up to 0.1, see what that looks like. All right, let's play. Nice. Not too shabby. And there we go, muzzle flash. Let me change that again. You can actually change any variable in the inspector as well, which is super nice. So I'll change it back to 0.25 so we can see what that looks like. Also pretty good. And there you have it, muzzle flash effects for your 2D twin stick shooter. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and stay tuned for more game development content.